Growing up, I was always told that the idea of becoming a professional athlete was more of a dream than a possibility. I had to scour the internet and on-demand section of my TV to even find a women's sport to watch. Thankfully, this is no longer the case. Female sports have become a growing venture that provides women an opportunity to express themselves athletically. Female athletics have been looked over since their beginning. As an athlete myself, this topic really hits home. It's so special to see all the opportunities that little girls have to look up to that I never could have even dreamed of. I hope I can portray how great the progress has been and the opportunities that now exist for women in sports. The growth of women's sports is undeniable. It can be seen in the increase of viewership and support, the closing of the wage gap, and the emergence of networks and outlets exclusively for women. A common misconception about women's sports is that no one cares to watch them. While this may have been true in the past, it is certainly not true now. Viewership of women's sports has grown immensely. As time goes on, more and more people are turning in to watch women's professional and collegiate athletics. According to Forbes magazine, in 2022, the Women's Final Four averaged 3.5 million viewers, the most watched Final Four in 10 years, and a 20% increase from 2021. The Women's College World Series for softball on ESPN averaged 1.2 million viewers per game, and the most viewed game averaging 2.1 million viewers, while the Men's College World Series averaged only 755,000 viewers per game and reaching a high of 1.7 million viewers. The National Women's Soccer League title on CBS averaged a record of 525,000 viewers, an increase of 216% from the 2019 game. The increase of women's athletics has also got the attention of big investors. Women are finally getting the demands that they deserve. As ratings go up, female athletes are steadily commanding more attention from fans and marketers. Brands and venture capitalists are pouring money into women's sports, according to the Washington Post. As programs and leagues get more money, they're able to pay their athletes livable wages. The WNBA and U.S. women's national soccer team players have had their demands met in the recent years. Scrambled by the pandemic, nearly every major men's sport has struggled to retain viewers over the past year, with audiences shrinking for everything from the NBA Finals to the Super Bowl. But amidst those drops, the WNBA and National Women's Soccer League scored notable increases, thanks in part to more exposure on cable and broadcast TV, according to Strauss and Hensley from the Washington Post. As interest in women's sports grows, more and more opportunities for little girls are created. In November of 2022, the first women's-only sports network was launched. The Women's Sports Network has gained support from 12 professional women's leagues. 1,000+ hours of women's sports content, including original signature storytelling from athletes across a multitude of league partners, award-winning documentaries on athletes, and league highlights are included on the service, according to the Women's Sports Network. When I was little, I never could have even dreamed of having an outlet to see only female athletes thrive and be broadcasted nationwide. The Women's Sports Network recognizes the growing interest in women's sports and decided to highlight and celebrate it. Despite being overlooked, ignored, and made a joke, female athletes never stopped working for their dreams and doing what they loved. The persistence and dedication is finally paying off as interest in women's sports continues to reach all-time highs. From barely being broadcasted to having their own network, these athletes' hard work and determination continues to pay off. Little girls can finally have dreams about becoming professional athletes without being laughed at or told that it could never happen, like I was. Thank you for your time. I hope I was able to inform you about the growth of women's sports.